Welcome. My name is Angel Tussey from Experience Pros, and I'm here interviewing best-selling author Greg Jameson about his book, Amazon's Dirty Little Secret. Greg, welcome.
Thank you.
Actually, Dirty Little Secrets. More than one secret over there, that dirty little Amazon.
That's right. There's lots of secrets.
Right? Absolutely. Well, Greg, you and I have spoken pretty regularly, and actually we spoke about a year ago when you had just made the #1 bestseller status on Amazon, which is pretty exciting for new authors, so congratulations to that. Well, it's remained on the bestseller list every single day for the past year and a half. And in fact, last week you were back in the top 10 on 2 different lists, which is pretty impressive because most authors, they hit it and they're like a one-hit wonder. How have you stayed on the top of Amazon's lists?
That was really exciting to do that. The book went back into #5 and #6, and I kind of asked myself the same question because I've got lots of friends that are authors, and their books, you know, they're out there for a few weeks and then they disappear. But I think that one of the big reasons is that I've continued to get people to write reviews on the book. And I started out, you know, with like 25 reviews or whatever, and people just continue to write reviews for it. And that's actually one of Amazon's dirty little secrets, of course, is to get people to write reviews, and basically someone is selling the product on your behalf. And as a result of that, people just keep writing more reviews, and the book has just stayed up there.
And
so
it
it's been
keeps
great.
selling. It keeps selling. Well, I'll tell you what, I don't buy anything on Amazon without reading those reviews. And I don't know if you've ever read about the gummy bears, but they are hysterical. The sad and scary part, though, if we put ourselves out there, right? We're putting ourselves out there for the public to review us. And on occasion, they're not very nice. Have you ever gotten any negative reviews on?
Sometimes they're not very nice, but you know, the reality is whether it be Amazon or anything else, people are reviewing you whether you want them to review you or not.
True.
So you may as well try to go and get the positive reviews, because there's people out there, whether it be on TripAdvisor or Yelp or Angie's List or whatever, they're going to tell the world what they think about what it is that you're offering.
So how do you handle that when you get a negative review?
You know, I actually got one, just last week as the book went back into the top 10, and I got a 1-star review, and I was actually kind of devastated. I was like, what's the matter with this guy? So what I did, though, is I responded to him. I remember years ago when I was writing software for landscape architects that I had somebody basically give me a negative review there also. You know, we didn't have the internet then, but they were unhappy with the product that I had delivered to them. So I addressed it head on, and they ended up being one of my biggest advocates because of the fact that I had addressed their problems. And I try to do that same thing when I get a negative review, is say, okay, does this guy have any valid points here? And if so, let's address them.
Right. All right. And do they respond back? Do you get any interaction back? Is there a way to do that on Amazon?
There is.
There is, okay.
Yeah, you can comment on reviews, and so people can comment on it. And frequently they don't. They're
like, oh, shoot, he called me out.
Yeah, they vented their frustrations.
Right? Yes.
And so it's all good.
All right. Well, okay, so the book, Amazon's Dirty Little Secrets, you created an acronym using the word power. I've got the power. And each chapter stands for one of the letters. Let's talk about what each letter in power stands for.
Yeah, the subtitle of the book, as you know, is Using the Power of Others to Market and Sell for You. And the P stands for plenty of traffic. The O is offer something for free. The W is win their trust, which goes back to the reviews.
Yes.
The E is an engaging experience, and R is to request an action.
All right. This is a good kind of business model for everybody, right?
It really is. You know, a lot of people think that the book maybe is an expose on Amazon because I called it The Dirty Little Secrets.
Right.
And that's not the case at all, obviously. What it's all about is Amazon has become the #1 powerhouse in e-commerce. And they're obviously doing some things right. So how can other people that are selling things online or offline or anywhere else, how can they emulate Amazon's success? And certainly those 5 points, which are easy to remember, are things that all businesses need to be addressing.
So how long did you study Amazon to discover that there is actually a system, a power system behind it that you could write a book about?
Well, you know, I got involved in the internet in 1995, which is pretty much the beginning of the internet. And Amazon actually sold their first product in 1996, so I was already doing some stuff on the internet.
Amazon before Amazon was cool, right?
I like to joke actually that because of when Google started out, Google, whenever they started in 2003 or whatever, to say, okay, Google's been searching the internet since 2003. I've been creating the internet since 1995.
All right. Okay.
But yeah, so I've just been studying Amazon pretty much the entire
The whole
time
time.
that they've been in existence.
Right. Do you remember when they used to just sell books?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's good news for
And-
all of us, right?
And it made a lot of sense when they went from selling books to including things like CDs and so forth, because that's still media. But then all of a sudden they're like, we're taking on Walmart.
Right. I read something not too long ago about they're going to start like a 2-hour delivery service in certain areas, depending on where you are and what you want.
And Denver's one of them.
And again, they are constantly being innovative, and we as business owners can learn a lot from them. All right, so Amazon's Dirty Little Secret's been pretty popular, well received, and super successful. How do you follow up, or is there a follow-up?
There is. I actually have another follow-up book called What Would Jeff Do?
Oh my gosh, and look at that. Got a little bald head on there and everything.
And this is actually just a series of quotes from Jeff Bezos, Amazon's founder.
Okay.
And I take a look at how he has said different things and how that applies to the first book. So this is really kind of a companion book to help sell more of Amazon's Dirty Little
So
Secrets.
is Jeff knocking on your door? Has he invited you in the corporate jet to come and hang out at
He
Amazon
hasn't,
yet?
and I'm actually kind of frustrated that he hasn't. I've called him a couple times, and he hasn't even returned my calls at this point.
I imagine on social media it's all over, and all those reviews that you have, that they would at least be checking you out at some point. All right, so now everybody picks up the book. They've learned the power of using the internet and the power of others to market and sell for you. Is everybody getting rich on the internet now?
So sadly, hardly anybody is. Amazon obviously is still making money, and one of the reasons is that Amazon is they have a whole bunch of different ways that they make money. It's not just selling products online. They've probably got 30 or 40 different business models of how they make money. But the biggest reason why most people are still not making money online is that they aren't treating their web business as a business. They think, I'll throw up a website, people will find it and buy stuff, and that's all there is to it. A web business is just like any other business. You have to work at it. You have to work at it pretty hard. In fact, in many ways, it's harder than a brick and mortar business because they aren't seeing people face to face. So the whole trust value of, okay, I'm going to send my credit card to somebody that I don't have any idea who they are. That's where that engaging experience comes in.
Sure. And the discipline to show up for work every day, right? When you don't have a brick and mortar or people at an office waiting for you.
Yeah, you're not getting phone calls, you're not getting emails. You have to figure out, how can I start driving traffic? And like I said, it's actually harder in many ways than a brick and mortar business. People think that, the internet's a get-rich-quick scheme. It's the exact opposite. It's a lot of hard work, and I think the book helps show people how they can make progress in those directions.
Well, it has been, I know anybody who has read it, and I've read it personally as well. I've implemented a few of the techniques into my own company. All right, so what are your plans for the coming year, Mr. Jameson?
Well, I've got a couple. I'm actually in the process of writing another book.
Of course you are.
But of course, once you write one, it's an addiction.
Right.
You have to write more. And the other is that I'm actually going to be doing a series of interviews, not unlike this, where I'm just going to sit down and talk with store owners that have an online business and find out what's working for them and what isn't, and then basically be able to share that information with other people that are thinking about getting into having an online business, or that have an online business that maybe need some help.
All right, so Greg, you are just a wealth of knowledge. As somebody's running an online business, even a brick and mortar store, I think there's a lot of powerful lessons that can be learned in the book, Amazon's Dirty Little Secrets. How do people follow you? How do they get a copy of the book? Do you do online courses, ongoing mentorship?
Of course.
Talk me off the ledge so I don't quit my business today.
And for those that don't know, Angel's actually been on one of my online courses. So, yeah, I offer online courses, as you know. And people can get a hold of me. The easiest way is to just go to gregjameson.com. You can get to kind of all of my other websites from there. And what was the other question?
I think that was probably it. That was
Okay.
probably it. All right, well, Greg, thank you so much.
Thanks, Angel. Appreciate it.
Harness the power of other people's to sell and market for you. Go to gregjameson.com.